You've been wanting a podcast that makes you laugh, has crazy guests on, but keeps it 100 and ain't afraid to talk about deep shit that happens in life. Look no more. This is Hanging Out with Darnell Bonds. Darnell is a truck driver who owns his own business, so he's seen just about everything there is to see, and we do mean everything. It's real. It's real. It's raw. It's raw. Darnell also breaks down the walls in front of men's mental health. Having suffered from major depression for a long time, he talks about his journey, how he handles it, and how he's doing today. All right, let's get in here. Open up, have some damn fun, and rock this mother. This is Hanging Out with Darnell Bonds. Now, here's your host, Darnell.
Yeah, welcome back from the commercial. I'm going to talk about something that I'm dealing with. Somebody probably out there dealing with it too. It's having suicidal thoughts. Nobody don't want to talk about it because it's taboo, or it make you feel like you're less than a person. People show more fake love than they really are. Let's get into it. I keep fighting this battle. What keep me on track is my family, my son, the person I'm dating, my future, my goals, my business, the people who support me, that keep me going. So, facts about suicide. So if you know somebody that's dealing with suicide or showing suicide tendencies, you might not know, or you might not notice, because you ain't gonna really open up. They ain't gonna really open up to you. They probably will. They probably give you a sign. I don't know no keywords or a magic sign to tell you how this person is acting. Some people just tired. Some people is mental tired. Some people just physical tired. Suicide is a leading cause of death and affect people of all ages. These are key points. Suicide is a serious public problem. It has far-reaching impact. Resources are available to prevent suicide. Hope is possible. The leading cause of death: suicide is a death caused by injured oneself with intent to die. A suicide attempt is when someone harms themselves with intent to end their life, but they do not die as a result of their action. Many factors can cause the risk of suicide or project against it. Suicide connect to other form of injury or violence. For example, a person who experienced violence include child abuse, bullying, or sexual violence are higher suicide risk. Being connected to family and community support, having easy access to health care, and can decrease the suicide thoughts and behavior. Suicide, serious problem a serious public problem, serious public health problem. Suicide rates increased approximately 36% between 2000 and 22. Suicide, suicide was responsible for 49,000 deaths in 2022, which is one of the deaths every 12 minutes. One death every 12 minutes. The number of people who think about suicide is even higher. In 2022, the estimate of 13.2 million adults seriously thought about suicide, 3 million planned suicide attempts, and 1.6 million attempt suicide. Suicide affect people of all ages. In 22, suicide was alone of the 9 leading causes of death for people ages 10 through 64. Suicide was the second leading death for people of the ages 10 to 14 and 25 to 34. Some groups of higher suicide than others. Suicide vary by race, ethnic, age, and other factors such as where someone lives. By race and ethnic, the group which is higher is non-Hispanic, Indian, Alaska Native people, followed by non-Hispanic white people. Other Americans are higher than average rate. Suicide are vets, people who live in rural areas and work in certain industrials and occupations like mining and construction. Young people who identify as lesbian, gay, bisexual have a higher suicide thoughts and behavior compared to their peers who identify heterosexual. Far-reach impact. Suicides and suicide attempts can cause emotional, physical, economic impact. People who attempt suicide survey may experience serious injury that can have long-term effect on their health. They may also experience depressions and other mental health concerns. Suicide and suicide attempts can affect the health and well-being of friends, loved ones, and co-workers in the community when the people die by suicide. Their survivor family and friends may experience grief, shock, guilt, symptom of depression, anxiety, even thought suicide themselves. The financial toll of suicide on society is also costly. In 2020, suicide and not fatal self-wound cost the nation over $500 billion in medical costs, work loss costs, value, life and quality of life costs. Suicide behavior also impact far-reach. Suicide behavior also has a far-reach impact. There were 49,000 suicide along in the ages 12 and older in 22. But suicide just the tip of the iceberg. For every suicide death, there was 11 emergency department visits of self-harm, 52 self-reported suicide attempts in the past year, 336 people who seriously considered suicide in the past year. Suicide prevention resource, strengthen the economy, create a productive environment, improve access and deliver to suicide care, promote healthy connections, teach corporate and problem solving skills, identify and support the person at risk, less harm and prevent future risks. You need help? Now, someone who does. Contact 988 Suicide Crisis Lifeline if you are experiencing mental health related diseases or worry about a loved one who may need a crisis support. Call or text 988 or chat 988lifeline.org. Connect with a trainer or crisis counselor. 988 is confidential, free, available 24/7, 365. Visit the 988 Suicide Crisis Lifeline for more information at 988lifeline.org. One person committed suicide every 16 minutes. If you or anyone you know is suffering from suicide thoughts, depression, please call the National Suicide Life Prevention at 1-800-728, I mean, whoa, 800-273-8255 or text 988-988lifeline.org. I got choked up because I deal with suicidal thoughts. It's like a demon on my back. The person who worked on my intro, he started talking to me. And I didn't know it was gonna be like a counseling thing going on, but it was just uh, he was telling me that his wife, they lost her brother to suicide, and there was no signs. Where I tried to take my own life, you know, did it multiple times and failed multiple times, and I just really gave up. But thinking about it, you have thoughts of how to end your life and how to um, do it. You think about it, you just it's one of them things where you just like, man, I'm just tired. Uh, I lost a friend to suicide. Uh, to suicide. Real cool guy. Uh, I miss him. Jason Chapman out of Fort Wayne. He always will be missed. What the circumstance around it, I don't know. We will never know the truth why he really took his life. You will never know the truth. Somebody took their life without suicidal notes. Uh, if you dealing with it, man, make sure you just look at something you love. Like me, I love looking at cars. I love looking at Lamborghinis. I love looking at Cadillac Escalade. I'm a car guy. I love sports and playing Madden and stuff. And when I try to talk, I remember talking to somebody about, I opened up to them and I regret it instant because they like, oh, you being selfish. You being very selfish. But when you talk to somebody, that's not the way to go. Cause it's just gonna make them feel 10 times worse. And I'm like, shit, I might as well not be here. You already consider me as selfish, rather than not find the issue that was triggering my suicide thoughts. I have got professional help. I try to get professional help, and it don't help. I don't know if my mind is not letting me help, but the reason I started a podcast again But this time it was just really talk about mental health because I see the crisis going on in the country. You know, I see the youth is really need help. We could talk about the behavioral in another episode, but then we talk about the youngest person I read out of the article was 10 years old that killed themselves. I remember when I was in elementary, I tried to take myself out, put a bag over my head. I was in the bathroom in Fort Wayne and on Mechanic Street, and I was in the bathroom, and I put a bag over my head. I was like, I believe I was getting bullied at the time, real bad. I was getting bullied real bad at school, and I started acting out, and that's probably why I was acting out all the way until my junior year of high school. A lot of people, always like, hey, you can always change, you can always do stuff, you, it's not worth it, it's not worth it. You hear it, it's not worth it, but that monkey on your back, that demon breathing down your back all the time, like even when you sleep, sometimes you have dreams of killing yourself, sometimes I have dreams I'm getting killed or what, you know, um, then my brother got killed in, in 2020. My brother got killed. My brother got killed. No, it wasn't 2020. It was 21. Well, it was one of them years. And I was going to really kill myself because I failed, because I let the family down. I let my brother get killed, my little brother. And I'm like, man, maybe I want a good brother. You know what I mean? And so that's how I look at it. But man, like I said, life goes on, and it does. Life really goes on, and I wish the best for everybody who dealing with depression, who dealing with suicidal thoughts. Um, there's our website, BetterHelp. There are apps out there now where you don't have to go to a counseling office. You can just get on the app and talk to somebody. You can talk to your friend. You can write it down, talk on the book, make a book about it. Somebody need you. You don't know who watching you. You don't know who support you. You don't know who love you. It'd be nice to hear it. It will be nice to hear. I love you. I love you too. I love you always. It'd be nice to hear it, but you don't. Uh, being a man, like a patient, being a truck driver, you drive long roads, long time. Uh, I remember somebody put on a wall on Facebook on having suicidal thoughts, and everybody was reaching out to that person. I did the same thing. I just copied him, and people was writing on their wall and tagging me in it, and I was like, I didn't think the feedback I was gonna get was like that big, but I got feedback. You still deal with suicidal thoughts. I still deal with suicidal thoughts to this day. I've been having suicidal thoughts ever since I was a kid. Ever since I was a kid, I've been having suicidal thoughts. And do it get better? Uh, no. There have been times like it feel like phases. Like I could go like stretches. I say a few months. I won't have no suicidal thoughts, and I just like Then depression hit me. Then suicide thoughts hit me. Then I'm like, how can I get out of this slump? Like 2 weeks ago, I was fucking depressed. Like I was very, very depressed, and I was taking out on loved ones. I was texting nonsense to stuff. This girl I'm dating, I was like, man, I won't text you no more, and I had to apologize because I was in the wrong, because I took my frustration out on her. I started deleting videos off social media, my videos that went viral, and should never do that. So when I get like that, I just gotta keep my fingers busy and keep my mind busy. A lot of people like, oh, you just weak minded. Man, don't let nobody talk down to you. If you suicidal, man, go get help, man. You're here for a reason. You might not know the reason. Like, I don't know the reason here. I don't even know my fucking purpose. I really don't. When it comes to talk about trucks, I know that. When it talk about football, I know that I might not be good at history of football, but I know football. I know a little bit of sports. I know a little bit of every sport, not every single sport. Like, I know NASCAR, Indy 500, golf, baseball. I won't say baseball, football, basketball, you know, uh, boxing, UFC, mixed martial arts, stuff like that. Um, but man, you just gotta keep your mind busy. And me open up to people and open up to podcasts. Well, it could be two people listen to this, and it'd be the two people that know me or two people just completely strangers. But man, I just had to get this off my chest. Something told me to do a podcast, do another episode. I'm debating one shot. I'll probably release this Saturday again, like I always do. I'm recording this on a Sunday, August the 18th, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. 9 o'clock Eastern Time, 9:48 Eastern Time. Oh, man, my allergies. And I'm about to yawn. I hate yawning. Sorry if I yawn too much, man. My part of my AirPods picking up one time. One day I'm gonna be in the studio. One day I'm gonna do this stuff full time. I won't be behind a driver's seat. I won't be in my truck or anything like that. But man, somebody love you. I love y'all. I always love y'all. I was gonna read the suicide letter that I wrote, but I'm not. I'll probably do that another time, but I'm not gonna do it now. I don't want to trigger any thoughts at this time. Hopefully you respect that. If you have any questions or anything, if you want to be the guest on the show, just hit me up. Love you always. All power to the people. I am out.
This has been Hanging Out with Darnell Bonds. Darnell's passion is just to have fun and to make you have fun and to get real and raw about life. We hope you enjoyed the show and had fun. We know we had a blast. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review the show. We'll be back soon. But in the meantime, hit us up on Instagram and TikTok at dbonds317 or at skinnyD317. Y'all be cool. And see you next time on Hanging Out with Darnell Bonds.